see if this one's any better. Live stream on a second ago, did not go to plan. I think YouTube's just really confused about where I am. I think it's trying to take a UK location but knows I'm in Spain. So yeah, it's interesting because it just keeps showing that it's stuck in preview mode at the moment, which is, yeah, interesting. Perhaps it will probably start kicking in a minute, but yeah, we'll see. So yeah, I'm not sure. The numbers aren't reflective probably of who's watching at the moment. Still showing as preview mode. I feel like YouTube just hates my live streams. But we'll see, we'll persevere. Hey Mel, Steve. Yeah, so my YouTube is really not liking me again, of course. It keeps showing me in preview mode. So it's interesting that people actually in the chat and commenting. Thanks for commenting. It actually shows that it is kind of working, but yeah, the numbers at the top is just, yeah, not reflective, I don't think. So this is interesting. But yeah, please do comment if the stream is working. I feel like YouTube just, yeah, doesn't like my streams, but yeah, we'll keep going. So okay, so there's a couple of comments coming through, which is amazing, so thanks for that. Yeah, so doing something slightly different today. So currently in Spain, in Valencia, and yesterday I was going on a little bit of an adventure, let's say, to find a Spanish slaughterhouse. I'll be putting a video up about that experience on YouTube of exactly what I found. There was police involved, there was a mini pony involved. Yeah, very, very strange experience. So yeah, I'll be posting a video on YouTube a bit later on. So today I'm going to be doing something very, very different. So I won't be outside a slaughterhouse, but instead I wanted to do more of an expose into something horrible that is part of the culture of Spanish people, Spanish culture in the big cities within Spain. And this is basically to visit what's called Mercat Central. And Mercat Central is basically one of the largest markets. It's right behind me. It's one of the largest markets in the whole of Europe, one of the largest in Spain. And obviously within these markets they have what you might expect if you've ever been to Spain or a Spanish market. I don't think anything in the UK will compare to what is actually here. And yeah, trying to basically show the public of, you know, what's in these markets, but also the process behind us in these markets. So obviously we're expecting a lot of meat products in these markets. We know that the Spanish culture focuses a lot on their cuisine of meat and fish, and we're going to be hopefully yeah, hi Alicia. Yeah, the Jamon, basically it's dry cured ham. It's a hind leg of pigs, and they're basically dry, maybe up to 12 months, I believe. And yeah, that there is what, if you've ever been to Spain, you'll see them hanging around in all the sort of shop windows. Whenever you go past a butcher's or a market, you see these hanging, basically hanging pig's legs. And the contradiction and the disconnect is, imagine if it was dog's legs hanging from all of these shop windows. So right now I'm at the entrance, and we'll basically see if I can show you exactly what's going on. Just for context, I've never been into this location at all before, so we'll be experiencing this for the first time together. And yeah, I'm obviously hoping we'll see more fruit and vegetable stalls, but you know, not feeling too hopeful. So let's have a look inside. So as you can see, this place is absolutely massive. It's a huge, I think it was built in the 1900s. And basically the building stretched like a, I don't even know what you call this building, but it is absolutely huge. And yeah, so it's one of the largest markets in Europe, in Spain. Obviously they have them in the main cities like Barcelona, Madrid, maybe Seville, and this is the market in Valencia. So I don't even know which way to approach this. I mean, we're in Europe now, so we go on the right hand side, but straight away, the first counter I've seen is a meat counter. And obviously a lot of this is in Spanish, so I won't be able to translate a lot of it, but obviously we've got things like chorizo or chorizo, however you want to pronounce that, and just complete animals' body parts, animals' carcasses. And then opposite, again, more animals' dead bodies. So we have chickens here. I mean, this is kind of exactly what I was expecting. So obviously for these chickens, what people don't realise that these chickens here is that they would have been sent to a gas chamber. Usually, I mean, in the UK it's 42 days old, they're sent to a gas chamber, and they are basically carried in on massive trucks and lowered into CO2 gas. These are just babies, they're 6 weeks old, and they're known as broiler chickens, and they are basically fattened up as quickly as possible. So at 6 weeks old, this is the animal's dead body. So what people are consuming are babies. They are eating dead babies' bodies at 6 weeks old. It's absolutely disgusting. Oh my god, and this, you can still see the head on this chicken. Oh my god. Wow. Jesus. I mean, if people can't see the connection with that, then that is absolutely disgusting. If anyone wants to screen record this as well, please do, and share it on social media. That is disgusting. Those poor chickens. I said they're 6 weeks old. And people buy this. How on earth are people buying this? These poor chickens. That is absolutely disgusting. It's just, yeah, I can't believe that the head of that chicken lying there on a counter for someone to purchase. How are people saying that's delicious? That is absolutely disgusting. If you're putting on the chat that that's delicious, you've got some serious problems. That is like some of the worst things I've ever seen. That is disgusting. Wow. Okay, let's jeez, I mean, this place is absolutely horrible. Okay. I mean, everywhere I turn is just animals' dead bodies. Again, this one with the... It's I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like walking into a fucking horror movie for animals. This is absolutely fucking disgusting. How people buy this shit? Honestly, they've got their heads still on them. You can still see their eyes. Fucking hell. I mean, I've been in here for about 2 minutes and I knew it was going to be bad, but fuck me, that's just disgusting. The first 2 counters have just got chickens' heads, geese heads. Like, the fact that the heads are still attached to the bodies is just absolutely disgusting. So let's step away from that store and see what they've got on this store. So here behind me, as you can see, they've got a very famous Spanish dish, the paella or paella. I don't speak Spanish, so apologies for the accent. You know, the dishes look like this. And what's really interesting that I didn't know is that I learned that in Valencia, which is where this market is, that paella is traditionally made with chicken and rabbit. So rabbit is a staple product item in the Spanish paella. How do people feel about eating rabbits? I know I haven't been sort of looking at the comments too much, but yeah, how do people think about eating rabbits in part of a paella? Would you do that in the UK? Obviously, a lot of people in the UK would have rabbits and bunnies as pets, companion animals, rescue animals. And yeah, anyone that's just going to spam the chat, you will get timed out. So let's see what's on the actual menu on this one. So obviously they've got shrimp and mussels. There it is. So paella, that's the one I was just talking about. Paella Valenciana. So Sonia's, but comment's gone. Rabbit is good, tender the meat. So you think that, you know, eating baby dead rabbits is acceptable? You think that's okay? You know, there's the whole sort of species mentality as well, because if you're one of the people that maybe believes, whether you did or you didn't comment about you wanting to eat rabbits, then the fact is that there's a species mentality that if it's not okay to eat rabbits, then why is it okay just to eat chickens and fish and shrimp and things like that in a traditional dish? Yeah, so just again showing them more of the surroundings. So there's aisles and aisles that way, there's aisles this way and all the way down, and I think there's another facility a bit like further down the far backside. So I've entered right at the corner of one side, but I think this goes on far bigger than I thought it might. But yeah, one of the biggest markets in Europe. And here we have a much more ethical and nutritious and healthy, which is right opposite another disgusting stall. But here we have something that's a bit nicer. We've got the fruits and the vegetable stalls. How much more appealing does this look than that on the left? On the left, you've got dead carcasses, you've got blood, you've got dead bodies. And here you have all these vibrant colour. Look at the colour difference. Here you've got reds and greens, oranges, as in the colour, not the fruit. Look at these vibrant colours and all the fruits down there, polarised by the back shot there. The background of sausages and dead bodies. And if I just stand back a bit more, you can see that, like, why would you want to choose the items on the left when you've got these incredibly nutritious, healthy, tasty foods on the right? And it's literally as simple as this. You have a choice. When you go into places like this, you have a choice. You can literally look to the right and purchase plant-based foods, healthy, vibrant, colourful and tasty. Or you can go to the left and you can pay for animals to be murdered, slaughtered, sent to gas chambers. It's just absolutely mind-blowing that this is completely sort of, you know, the polar opposites, straight opposite in the aisle here. Yeah, Matthew, whole food every time it's healthier. It's healthier and, you know, most likely cheaper too. You know, here we got $3.80 a kilo of tomatoes. And over here, $36.99 for whatever that is. I mean, it's a no-brainer, surely. This is a much more appealing stall. This is exactly what the foods that we should all be consuming. This is healthy, this is nutritious, this is affordable. But most of all, no animals are being murdered for the sake of these items. This is what we should all be purchasing. It's so simple. Why on earth would you not want to choose this I go for animals hanging up. Surely it's a no-brainer. So Richard says, why is everything in Spanish? Well, that's because I'm in Spain. I'm in the Valencia central market. It's one of the biggest markets in Europe. And it basically has a whole host of different food and products. And if you scroll back to the first few minutes, maybe about 10 minutes into the stream perhaps, you'll see that there is animal products here, but the fact that they still have their heads attached, the chickens was just, I just can't believe that was the first thing I came and saw. That was just completely took me off, sort of caught me off guard, but much more reassuring seeing these absolutely delicious fruits and vegetables here. So what we've got aubergines, peppers. How much more exciting and tasty that these foods are. Strawberries, blueberries. Some delicious plums, oranges, clementines, apples. And these foods are the foods that are super accessible, right? Wherever you go, you find markets and you'll be able to find fruit and veg markets. So why on earth would you want to go and pay for animals to suffer, to be exploited and to die? And here is another stall that is purely based on exploitation. It's based on, this is also a feminist issue, right? So behind me here we have cheeses, and cheese is obviously a part of the dairy products, the dairy processed, where mother cows, female cows are forcibly impregnated. The mother cows have their babies taken away from them, and the milk intended for their young is instead given to humans and packaged up and taken into supermarkets. And the babies, once they're born, so the males, they'll likely be killed and sent to the veal industry, and if they're females, once they're old enough, they'll be separated into white hutches, and then they will be basically going through the same process. So once they're old enough, they'll be forcibly impregnated, and these mother cows are basically killed between 3 and 5 years old. So the dairy industry pays for cows to be slaughtered at 3 to 5 years old. These cows should live to over 20. Yet instead, when people purchase products like cheese and dairy, these cows get killed at a fraction of their lives. And that is, no different from being a meat eater or a vegetarian, because vegetarians can pay for this to happen. And then we have these items that are hanging up. And this is what Alicia was talking about earlier. So this is known as Jamon. So Jamon, these hanging items here, and if you've ever been to Spain, you'll see that these items are absolutely everywhere, in shops, outside restaurants, and they're just hanging there. But what this is the hind legs of a pig. This is the hind legs of a pig. So a pig that would have been killed at about 6 months old. The pigs would have been sent to a CO2 gas chamber. I think in Spain it's about 85% of the pigs are sent to a CO2 gas chamber, and if they're not sent to a CO2 gas chamber and sort of suffocate to death, burn to death, then they're stunned and they will have their throat sliced open. And this is for all of these hanging products behind me. And what they do is, these are the hind legs of the pig, and they'll basically dry them out, they'll air them out for about 12 months, I believe. And you can look this up as well, of the process of jamon. It looks like it's spelled jamon, but it's jamon. It's a Spanish word. And yeah, they just advertise dead animals' legs hanging from all these shops. But I think one of the most disturbing parts that people don't understand is, when we look at pigs are so intelligent that even if they weren't, they are so very similar to the animals that we have in our homes. Dogs, for example. Pigs are more intelligent than dogs, but how much of an outrage would there be if these items here were not the hind legs of a pig, but the hind legs of a dog? How much outrage would there be if that were the case? Would you feel comfortable seeing dogs' legs hung up around and people purchasing them, taking photos of them? It's quite a touristy thing to go and take photos of these jamons hanging. So you're saying dogs are smart. So pigs, you can look this up as well. Research has shown that pigs can actually be more intelligent than dogs. But even if that's not the case, you know, pigs and dogs, they're both animals alike, and these pigs and the dogs both want to live a life without exploitation and without being sent to a gas chamber. So I think Chrissy's put, let the people eat what they want. So the issue with this, you know, we all have a choice. We all recognise that we have a choice. But the issue is that some people's choices have victims. So if you're paying for meat products, for dairy products, for cheese, for hamam, you're paying for animals to be sent to gas chambers. You're paying for animals to go into a slaughterhouse as babies, you know, at 6 months old if they're pigs. If they're chickens, they're 6 weeks old, just 42 days old. You're paying for them directly to be sent to a slaughterhouse, to a gas chamber. I'm going to dodge all the people here. So when we know that the choices that they make, there's a victim involved, why would you not want to choose an option that is more compassionate, where there are no victims involved? For example, this stall again. You know, fruits, vegetables. These options are far healthier, and they're the ethical option. They are the option that doesn't cause animals to go to slaughterhouses. And yeah, just to say thanks Jake, thanks Alicia and David for being in the chat and answering comments. Yeah, it's kind of hard to walk around and look at comments at the same time, so really appreciate your support on this live stream. So yeah, let's have a look at some more stalls. So again, we've got, I believe, a completely, so fruits and vegetables. So we've got like courgettes, peppers, carrots, tomatoes, celery. Yeah. Again, look at all the colours, the vibrancy. See how different does that look? How much better does this look? It's full of colour, full of flavour. And yet you pan around to the hanging dead meat products and they're all just the same colour, the colour of flesh, and that's because that's what they are. They are just dead animals' body parts. When you can just eat these beautifully colourful, tasty, affordable foods, why would you want to pay for an animal to go to a slaughterhouse instead? You know, a box of that is going to do far better for your health, far better for the planet, far better for numerous reasons, but the number one reason is that there is not a dead animal in that box if you go and pay for that. So let's go and have a look at some more of the paella. So that's another typical Valencian. And again, so the Valencian dish traditionally is, these will be pieces of rabbit. These pieces here, these will be pieces of rabbit, and that's traditionally the food in Valencia for the paella. It's getting some very evil glares from the person at the paella stall there, so I'm just going to carry on. Obviously this market is huge and I won't even be able to cover most of the stalls that are here, but you know, I don't want to get removed from the facility just yet. So again, we've got, so the more of the jamon. So this is, so behind you've got the hanging jamon there. So they are the legs, the hind legs of the pig, and this would have been basically the sliced version of it. And they've got the chorizo as well. So yeah, that stall had, again, hanging dead pig's legs and also dairy products. So just a complete stall, a market stall. All of it is just people paying for exploitation of these animals. So busy here. Yeah, paella spouts paella. So the L's basically sound like a Y. But yeah, as you probably can tell, I don't speak Spanish. Oh my God, what is this? So, another sort of staple dish as such, or cuisine, is the seafood. So, for example, in the paella dishes, you often see shrimp and other seafood in there. But obviously, in Spain, the Spanish coast, places like Barcelona, Valencia, long sort of coastal lines, and they all do a lot of fishing. And they've just got hanging dead body parts. It just absolutely baffles me. Absolutely baffles me that people are like hanging these animals as like trophies. You know, what difference is this to things like trophy hunters, for example, that would go out and, you know, kill an animal and then put it in their, you know, in their lounge or their mantelpiece. They hang it up with their horns. And again, so we've got another prime example of, on one side, animals that have been sent to gas chambers, their legs ripped apart, and the other is the nutritious food that is healthy and doesn't consume animal products. So here we've got, look at this delicious fruit and veg, you know, peppers, cabbages, and then we'll take a look to the left, and we've just got rows and rows and rows, all these pig's legs. I urge you, for people watching, go to the video description and watch the 3-minute video. It's completely free to watch, and you'll learn in 3 minutes exactly the process of how they get the products from these animals. It's just a 3-minute video. Please do go and check that out, and do subscribe to this channel as well, as I do lots of live streams about various sort of animal situations, often outside slaughterhouses. But yeah, today I'm at the market in Valencia. But yeah, please do, like, I urge you, there's lots of people in this room, go and watch the video in the video description. Hit the 3 dots at the top of the screen, or go to the video description, so busy, and watch the 3minutes.wtf. And if you've got longer, watch something like Dominion. So, Titanium Tony, okay, this guy's actually convincing me to go vegan. I mean, it's such a simple choice. So I've been vegan for nearly 5 years now, and it was after watching a documentary. But when you come to a place like this, it really puts it in perspective of how easy and how simple it is to be vegan. So here, all of these delicious fruits and vegetables. It's super cheap, super fresh. And then in the background, you've got all these hanging dead animal parts. You've got hanging dead pig's legs. So, Noblu said, people are staring at you, stop being silly. Yeah, I know people are staring at me, but to be honest, I've been in situations far worse than this, and people are always going to judge. People are always going to judge, people are always going to look, people are always going to stare, people are always going to complain. But the fact is that animals need to be spoken up for, and we have to make this connection. We have to. People need to wake up and realise that we don't have to pay for animals, so for pigs to go sent to gas chambers at 6 months old, and we can just buy something else. Again on this side, so the hind legs of the pigs. This is the famous Jamon in every shop, and then here we've got the fruits and vegetables. It's just such a simple choice. Choose the aisle that is more ethical. Choose the aisle that doesn't pay for animals to be sent to slaughterhouses and gas chambers. You've got all of these incredible fruits and vegetables right here. This is the store you should be buying food at. This isn't food. This is just an array. This is a showcase of dead animal bodies. This isn't food. This is real food. Please go and watch the 3-minute video that's in my video description. It's completely free to watch. You know, I don't get anything from it. It's just a 3-minute video. And yeah, please do double tap the screen as well. Like this video, please hit the like button. It gets shown to more and more people, and the more non-vegans we can get to see this, the better. And yeah, please do subscribe to this channel as well. As I said, I do lots of live stream videos, and yeah, we'll happily show you lots of places. I said there's a video that will be coming out soon. I went to a slaughterhouse yesterday. It's a very strange experience, very different to the UK. bit of an odd one, but that'll be released on my YouTube channel soon. It wasn't a live stream, so I'll be putting the full-length video soon once I can edit it, but often I do these live streams. So again, we're here at another delicious fruit and veg place. Fresh fruit salad. Again, just look at the colour. Look at the colour of this. Reds, greens, purples, yellows. Like, it's such a colourful and, you know, lovely thing to see. Polarised again by the colour of pink, the flesh, the animal flesh. When people say, you know, it's not affordable, or oh, I don't know what to eat, you know, you're coming to a place like Valencia. There's this whole market, and yes, half of it will be filled with dead animal bodies, but the other half will be filled with amazing fruits and vegetables. But also Valencia has some really good vegan restaurants, fully vegan restaurants. So there is no excuse when you're at a place like Valencia. Again, look at all of this colour. This stretch has probably been my favourite stretch so far. It's just been fruit and vegetable after fruit and vegetable. So what you're seeing here is not animals' dead bodies. You're seeing raw, whole foods that are healthy for us. And no animals had to die for these products. Look at the colours. Beautiful. That is a much nicer array of food. Again over here. This must be the fruit and veg section. Oh wait, no. Look in the background again. And you've got the Jamons hanging. The hanging dead pig's legs. Again, polarised. So you can get all these beautiful colours right here. Instead of paying for the animal flesh that's in the background over there. Hopefully by now some of you would have already gone and watched the 3-minute video in my video description. Please do comment if you have been, if you have gone and watched that and what you think about it. So someone's put that essential amino acids. You can get all your essential amino acids from plants because protein comes from plants originally. Animals are basically the middlemen. They consume the plants and then people consume the animals to get those protein, but you can get all of the essential amino acids on a plant-based diet. So there's more of the pig's hind legs. On the chat, who would look at that and actually thinks that, oh, this is tasty? Who actually looks at that and thinks, oh, I'd like to buy some of that? So some more. Oh my god, what is this place? Oh my god. Jesus. This is actually on sale at a meat market. How are people paying for this? This was someone's life. These were individuals that wanted to live. You know, they've got eyes, teeth, tongues. I feel honestly really sick with this stuff. But that is just heartbreaking. That is just absolutely heartbreaking. You can see the blood. You can see their eyes. These were individuals that wanted to live. Someone's put, if you hate it so much, why don't you leave? I mean, it's the same reason that I stand outside slaughterhouses watch the animals going in on the trucks going into these facilities that ultimately end up processing packaging items to these markets and these shelves. But the problem is we can't all look away. We shouldn't look away, because that's the problem that we have. People have been looking away, and people don't question the foods that people are purchasing, because we look away and we ignore the fact that those chickens were sent to... Jesus, this guy is just actually just mashing up a dead chicken. Do you think he has guilt in his conscience? Do you think he has violence in his mentality? For someone to day in, day out just be chopping up animals' body parts, it's just absolutely horrendous. We all have to expose this place. And please watch the video that Alicia has just put in the chat, or go to the video description and watch it there. This is just absolutely fucking disgusting. Again, more pigs' hind legs. What would you do if these were dogs' legs? This was your pet dog hanging on display for someone. How do you feel about that? And over here, again, much better. Fruits and vegetables. You know, as you can see, it's so much cheaper, way more healthy, way more colourful, way more vibrant. This is what we should be purchasing. This is, you know, looks really tasty. And just, again, the colours of it is just incredible. Again, polarised from the colours of this to the colours of the meat products behind. Literally surrounded by the polar opposites of the society we live in. It's like the entrance to heaven and hell. It's, you know, the good side, the bad side, the good and the evil. Here we've got the good side, and here this is the evil side. Please do go and watch the link that Alicia's put in the chat. Hey Aaron, thanks for being in the chat as well. Sorry, I haven't seen all of the comments coming through, but I appreciate you being here. This place is absolutely disgusting. Just kind of baffled by the sheer scale of this place. The amount of animals just hanging, you know, hanging up. Like, these are just animals' body parts. You can still see the feet. I said this is a hind leg, look. I mean, that's because, you know, there's problems about vegans and morality. Vegans are morally better. Vegans are not paying for individuals, other species, to be sent to slaughterhouses and gas chambers. Vegans live in alignment with their values, and they don't want to harm animals. So if you think you're an animal lover, if you have pets at home or companion animals, how on earth are you paying for other species to be killed? If it was your pet dog hanging up from these sort of markets, how would you feel about that? Meat are literally body parts. What do you mean? Yeah, they are body parts. These are the hind legs of a pig. I'm saying, what if this was the hind legs of a dog? No, a Labrador. What if that was a Labrador hanging up? No, would you be paying for, you know, a pet dog to be hung up on the shelf? Let's have a look at this stall. So we've got like nuts, sultanas, apricots. Again, the fact is that we have a choice. And if we have a choice, why would you not pay for the compassionate option? You don't need to consume animal products, so why on earth are you paying for it? Why are you paying for all of these dead bodies?
In general, like pork is very popular.
So you would eat, okay, so someone here would eat a Labrador. Interesting. How many other people would eat a Labrador? If it was your pet Labrador as well. How many people would buy that? She's so lost in this place now. It's like a maze. Let's have a look at some more vibrant, colourful things. Again, look at the colour. It's surely so obvious that this is the foods that we're meant to be consuming. These are the foods that are best for our bodies. All of this colour. This is what we should be consuming. Why on earth would we want to pay for the beige, pale, pink, flesh-coloured foods when instead we can pay for all this beautiful, fresh, nutritious foods? You know, when I pick up these items and pay for these items, I haven't had to pay for an animal to be sent to a gas chamber. Charles B said, do animals have rights? Well, this is exactly what we're fighting for. We believe that animals should have rights. You know, we believe that animals should be treated with fairness, respect, and equality. Because at the moment, their rights are being completely abused. Some animals have rights, you know, some protected species. Some animals, you know, like cats and dogs, are lucky enough to be treated better than, let's say, other counterpart animals of pigs and chickens. Oh my god, the smell. Oh my god, the smell. Fucking hell. Okay, I'm going to go through this next section very quickly because it absolutely reeks. So again, as I mentioned earlier, part of the Spanish cuisine is... Bear with the announcement. Wish I had a face mask on me right now because this honestly fucking stinks. And you can probably kind of imagine where I'm about to go to next. So yeah, part of the Spanish cuisine is a lot around seafood, sea animals. And this next section is just going to show you all of those animals' dead bodies, and it really fucking stinks. So I'm going to go through as quickly as possible and basically flip the camera around so you can see that. But oh my god, it seriously stinks. So again, all of these.
Venga, gracias. Sí. Solo me faltan estos dos.
Oh wow. Again, all of these sentient individuals just put on ice. Oh wow, there's live animals here. I did not expect to see that. How do people actually look at these animals and think? And the fact that these are live animals as well, like people are going to be paying for them, and then they're going to be paying directly right here for them to be killed. So Aaron, I've just made you a moderator, so feel free to do as you please in the chat. So watch Seaspiracy. It's one of the best documentaries that I think I could direct you to that relates to fish. But all of these animals, these are all individuals that want to live. These are all animals. Just because they live in the sea, why do we treat them so differently? So what people don't know is that the fish on these counters, that they are either basically taken from bottom trawling or from fisher boats that go out to sea and catch them. The way that they're killed, they will either use blunt force trauma on the fish, depending on how many fish are caught, and they'll usually use something like a blunt weapon or to slam them against the surface to render them unconscious, which often they then stay suffering for a very long time. Or they're basically suffocated, so if they're taken on trawler boats, they'll be taken out of the sea, taken out, and basically suffocated for many minutes out of the water, so starving them of the basically our equivalent of oxygen to survive. And the other way that they can kill these fish is to basically put them directly onto ice, so they're basically slowly freezing and suffocating at the same time. And remember that the fish that I've just shown, the fish on display, these again are individuals, exactly like, you know, your dog and your cat at home. These are individuals that want to live. The smell is still so bad. So why would you want to pay for that when you've got all of these delicious foods instead? Why would you pay the dead bodies? You know, it's quite an obvious thing, but you know, when we're around, or when I'm, you know, stood outside this stall, it's visually appealing, but it doesn't smell of anything. And as soon as you're outside meat stalls or fish stalls, the smell is absolutely horrendous, and it makes me feel sick. Do people feel sick when they're stood outside these vegetable stalls? No. Yet people feel sick when they're outside dead animals' bodies because of the smell and the fact that you're literally surrounded by death. I am genuinely feeling quite sick now. Just the smells and the sight is just revolting. Let's have a look at some nice fruit instead.
Ay, ¿me dejas?
And again, back to the dead animals' corpses. So yeah, for anyone that's just recently joined the chat, I literally can't turn anywhere without being exposed to dead animals' bodies. But yeah, I'm currently in Valencia. I'm at one of Europe's largest markets. It's called Mercat Central. It's in the centre of Valencia, and it's basically a huge market that has lots of food stalls. A lot of them are just dead, hanging up parts of animals, but we do have some very nice fruit and vegetable stalls here as well. But just trying to make the connection for people. Alicia said, who time out a mod? Sorry, what happened, Alicia? Or Aaron? I think you're the only two mods in this chat. So yeah, trying to make the connection between, you know, the animals that are literally hanging behind these animals' legs, the pig's legs. How would you feel if that was a dog's leg or a cat's leg hanging up? Also the fact that, you know, we have the choices. We're right here. We've got fruit and vegetable in front of us. It's cheaper, it's accessible, and then over here you have the polar opposite. You have basically dead animals' bodies. Yeah, thanks Aaron. If there's people being racist on the chat, feel free to take action as a mod. And thanks for spotting that. It's hard seeing lots of comments come through, but yeah, really appreciate you being in the chat. So let's have a look over here. So again, like, there's a whole chart of so this just shows exactly what I've just been talking about. So that Jamon that we mentioned earlier, that's right there, that's the hind leg of the pig. But what would you do if instead of instead of this being a cow, what if that was a dog? What if that was your pet dog in a visual like this, with lines coming across them, showing you that, you know, this is the hind legs of the dog. How do you feel about that? Because if that slightly unsettles you, please go to the video description and go to the 3-minute movie. It's completely free to watch. If you hit the 3 dots, go to 3minutes.wtf, and Alicia's just put it in the chat. Go and watch The Truth for yourself. And don't be the reason that you're supporting these industries that make it so okay to put visuals like this to show you that this is not normal, this is not okay. We don't need to have diagrams of how to chop up dead animals' bodies. And instead of paying for the flesh, this dead flesh, pale pinks and reds, you can instead purchase all this vibrant, delicious, healthy food instead. Because no one needs to pay for these animals. You know, these cows would have been sent to slaughter at about 1 year old. If they're beef cows, and if they're dairy cows, between 3 and 5 years old. We have to remove this element of speciesism. We have to remove this element of oppression. This is an oppressive issue. This is a feminist issue. But what I do love to see is the fact that all of these stalls have no customers. Because no one should be going to these stalls. These stalls will eventually turn into the fruit and vegetables. All of these stalls will soon no longer be in operation because everyone else will be going to these fruit and vegetables instead. Animals should have rights, animals should have respect, and animals should have the dignity to not be sent to a gas chamber at 6 months old. So what excuses do you have? What reasons do you still have left? If anyone's just been, following this live stream, we have a solution, right? We can be vegan. I've been vegan for nearly 5 years. Fruits, vegetables, vegan restaurants and supermarkets, there's plenty of choice. What excuse do you still have for not being vegan? And if there's anyone in the chat, how would you feel about being vegan now and living in alignment with your values, knowing that you don't have to pay for animals to be killed? So yeah, bacon, for example. Bacon is the product of a pig that has been sent to a gas chamber at 6 months old. 6 months old. These are just babies, chickens that are 42 days old. They're 6 weeks old. And yeah, I'm assuming people are commenting about, obviously I mentioned this is also a feminist issue, right? We're taking away women's rights from the animal species. When we look at the dairy industry, it's one of the most oppressive industries in the world. Yeah, so as the soy tan man's just correctly basically saying that we artificially inseminate cows. We take the semen from the bull and we inject it into the rear of a female cow, forcibly. Then once the cow gets pregnant and they give birth, the babies are then taken away from them. If they're male, they'll be taken away and they'll be killed and sent to the veal industry because male cows don't produce milk, they don't produce dairy products. And if they're female, they'll be separated at birth and separated into white hutches, where once they're off, they'll also then be forcibly impregnated and go through the same cycle. Now, we must remember that, dairy cows are just female cows, they're mothers. They don't produce milk because they're cows, they produce milk because they're mothers. And the mothers produce milk intended for their young. Just like humans as mammals, mothers produce milk for their babies. The cows do the same, but instead they take the babies away from the cows and they package up the products and they send the milk to supermarkets for people to consume. So yeah, it definitely is a feminist and women's rights issue because you're taking away the whole element of the dairy industry is oppression. There is no consensuality, there is no choice. You're literally, for better phrase, it's, if it was human to human doing this, it would be known as rape. So you can get caught up in whatever dialogue, but forcible impregnation, artificial insemination, what the industry use. Can we make cheese from glass? You can make cheese from plant-based products. Yes, you can make it from coconuts. You can make it from soybeans. You can make it from a variety of plant-based products. You can still have cheeses and you can still have bacon. You can make it from plant-based products. Yeah, exactly. It's a whole human arm. So they will take this in from the ball, and then they will put basically the whole arm through a massive glove, essentially, that goes all the way up their arm, and they will insert their arm through the rear of the female, and then they'll use a metal rod to inject the semen inside the cow, the female cow. And again, like, go and watch the 3-minute video that's in this video description. You can learn this for yourself. It's just 3 minutes. You know, if you can watch this live stream, you can go and check out a 3-minute video. So once again, we've got the polarization right in front of us here. You know, all the vibrant colors of the fruits and vegetables, all the tasty, delicious fruits and veggies. And then right behind, dead, hanging animal products, dead animal corpses. This is the future. This is what we should all be consuming. The fruits and the veggies here, not what's behind. We don't need visuals and diagrams for how to chop up dead animals' bodies. So again, I'll ask the question, what's stopping you from being vegan? What is actually stopping you? Because if you would have been tuning into this live stream, you know what happens to the animals. You know how oppressive, exploitative it is throughout the whole of the animal's life. You're breeding them, you're inseminating them, and you're sending them to slaughterhouses and gas chambers when they're just babies, a fraction of their lives. So the fact that you've now been told those facts, and also shown the reality that these are just animals' body parts that we don't need to pay for. Instead, we can buy plant-based products. All these fruits, vegetables, nuts and legumes. There is no excuse to eat, consume and exploit non-human animals. So Alfonso said, the world's cruel, get over it. The world is cruel, but we can stop being a part of the mass cruelty that's going on. We can take away, or we can remove ourselves from the situation that happens to animals. We can take ourselves away from that. So Johnny's saying plants and nuts are alive too. Plants don't have feelings, they don't have pain receptors, they don't have central nervous systems, and they're not sentient. Plants don't feel pain, and that is just an invalid argument. So JJ saying, can I eat insects? Again, no, they are... Oh, let me just... Oh my God. Another animal. How do you feel about seeing this? Does this really look like something you want to purchase? Oh my God. Wake up, people, wake up. Seriously, how can anyone look at these and think that that is something that someone should eat? That is disgusting. One thing I never expected to see was just like the whole bodies, the whole of the body parts just on display on the shelves. You know, the chickens still with their heads, still with their feet. It's literally, how can people not make the connection? That is literally a dead animal in front of them that you don't need to consume. People really think that that looks delicious to eat? Seriously? Marissa says poor animals. Yeah, completely agree. There's literally people starving. Yeah, well, we're feeding plants and foods to 90 billion land animals. So if we stop doing that, we could have a lot more plants to feed humans. Hey Jake, good to see you. At an absolute disgusting facility today. I don't know how long you've been on, but seeing just chickens' heads still attached to their bodies. I'm at a Valencia market. Again, here's the hind legs of pigs. Again, what would you do if that was your dog hanging up? The legs of a dog or a cat. How would you feel about that? It's place is absolutely fucking disgusting. Yeah, more animals' body parts. You can still see the feet on them. It's literally their fucking legs. Literally their fucking legs. Like, how would you feel if that was your dog or your cat's legs hanging up for someone else to go and purchase? These pigs were 6 months old when they were sent into gas chambers. It's absolutely vile. I'm actually so lost in this place. It's just, this is worse than any sort of Halloween horror place. This is worse than being, this is one of the worst places imaginable for seeing these animals. The only thing's worse is literally the slaughterhouses, which is where these animals come from. And again, like, look at this. Come on, wake up, people. We don't need to be paying for this. This is absolutely disgusting. Which you can see their bodies, you can see their organs just hanging out. This is literally a dead chicken's, I mean, whole body. You can see their feet, you can see their heads. You don't need to be purchasing this. You don't need to be paying for these animals to suffer and be sent to gas chambers. Really disturbing thing just then, I didn't want to show the camera on it, but there's 3 young kids just staring at that chicken. And the problem is that we get conditioned in society, so they'll be brought up being told that's normal, that's normal, that's normal. You know, by parents, by society, by marketing, by business, they'll be told this is normal, this is normal. So those kids will grow up thinking that that chicken just sat there in the counter, that's normal. But it shouldn't be. And we know that it shouldn't be, and that's why people like us have to speak up for these animals. We have to speak up and show the reality that you can be vegan and you don't have to pay for this. So Expat says you're vegan. Yes, so I've been vegan for nearly 5 years after watching a documentary about what happens to animals. And you can watch this very similar documentary. It's just 3 minutes long. A 3-minute documentary. You can go to the video description and check it out. It's called 3minutes.wtf. It's completely free to watch. Go and check it out. There's no excuse. There is absolutely no excuse. And know that you can get all of your nutrients. You can thrive and survive on a plant-based diet throughout all forms of life, from infancy to adulthood to old age. And this has been shown by the British Dietetic Association, the American Dietetic Association. We don't need to consume animals' body parts. It's great to see so many vegans in the chat as well. You know, always appreciate your support. It's very hard to, as I said, to kind of check what the comments was, trying to bump into everyone here. But yeah, I have no idea what I've even covered of this place so far. It's an absolute maze. Again, some more disgusting body parts. Like, people actually look at that and they think that's food. Come on. This is literally the life of an animal. Multiple animals that have been chopped up, sent to slaughterhouses. It's absolutely vile, it's absolutely disgusting. Here we are again, the cheese. Thanks, Matthew. Oh, so yeah, I'm actually still feeling sick, still feeling quite lightheaded. It's just the smells as well, like, probably you can see it, like, my cheeks are going all red as well, like, the smells, the sight of death, it's just, okay, I've just seen something absolutely horrible. I'm also getting stared at by the butchers behind, but I want to try and get a video of it, so I'm going to go over there now. But this is basically what you'll see is a whole pig's head. So yeah, here we go. Place is fucking disgusting. It's sickening. These places should be fucking illegal. How can people just put animals on display like this? Like a whole pig's head, pig's legs, pig's feet, chicken's head. If you've been watching this video, you'll have seen all of the chicken's heads as well as their feet still attached to their body. Hey Mel, Steve. Yeah, literally just live vegan. Like, again, the polarization. We've got the fruits, the vegetables, the delicious foods right here on the right, and on the left you've got dead animals' bodies. I think I've come down this aisle before, but that is just absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. If I wasn't feeling sick enough already, that's just made it 10 times worse. Just like, you think the amount of times like I've been outside slaughterhouses and seen animals going in on trucks, but again, to see their corpses literally on display, like trophy hunters put it on display in their, in their living rooms. This is the same, except people are going to purchase them to eat their body parts. They've got them hanging up like it's some sort of fun thing to do, like it's something interesting, and people will come and take photos of it, like this guy here. He's taking photos of all of the Jamon. These are literally pig's legs hanging up. I keep saying it, but what if it was your pet dog's legs hanging from there? How would you feel about pet dogs hanging up for people then to purchase? And again, so here again, as mentioned earlier about the paella. So obviously paella is a very common Spanish cuisine, very traditional dish. But the way they make the Valencian paella is to make it with chicken and rabbit. They make it, their staple ingredient is rabbit. Like, how do people feel about rabbit being in food? Do people eat rabbit? And if you don't, why do you not? Like, what is it about that species that you think is not okay to eat versus the species that we do? People eat, or seem to believe it's okay to eat chickens and cows, but people be far, far against eating things like dogs and cats, especially in the UK or Spain. Which begs the question that, just because things are normal in the culture, which here in Spain, for example, is eating rabbit, but in other parts of the world it will be seen as disgusting, such as when you go to Korea or Vietnam and you'll be offered things like rat to eat, rats, or dogs or cats. Over there it's culturally acceptable, it's a cultural tradition, but that doesn't mean it's morally okay to do. So we know that culture does not dictate morality, because for each of those animals, they want to live their lives. For each of those animals, they have a right to live. They deserve to be respected. And for anyone on this stream that is watching, for anyone that actually believes that they're an animal lover, you cannot be, if you're purchasing these products, you cannot be an animal lover if you're paying for animals to be sent to slaughterhouses and to die. Like Jake said, leave rabbits alone, leave animals alone. This is what you can eat instead. Again, look at all these glorious colours. Reds, yellows, greens, purples, the vibrant colours. This is what we should be consuming. And again, polarised by the complete opposite of the stale pink flesh of the animals. We have the choice. Take the left path, take the animals off of your plate and choose fruits and vegetables instead. These animals shouldn't be filling these counters. These animals should be respected and left alone. Be vegan for them. How can you look at that and want to pay for it? Be vegan for them. This is a whole chicken. Their poor faces. Be vegan for them. It's as simple as that. Just be vegan for them. I'm not sure how much longer I can stay in this place, if I'm honest. I've been here for about an hour and I just feel sick. I feel incredibly sick. It's disgusting. I don't even want to purchase the fruits and veggies now. I just feel totally put off. Just want to get some fresh air. But this place is disgusting, and we know that we've got all of these incredible fruits and vegetables that we can buy. You can live vegan, and go to the video description and check out the 3-minute movie that I put in there. Please do double tap the screen as well. Double tap the screen and like this video, as it helps these live streams get shown to more and more people. And also please do subscribe to this channel. You know, I often do live streams outside slaughterhouses, farms, street debates. Please do subscribe to this channel, because I'll be doing a lot more videos. Yeah, saying I don't look healthy. Well, I don't think anyone that's going to be staring at these dead animals is going to have a very good look on their faces, to be honest. It's just crazy. Leave you with some lasting images of the animal's legs, the pig's legs. Again, pig's legs sent to gas chambers at 6 months old. If you are truly an animal lover, you should live vegan. And if you have any questions at all, drop me a message on Instagram. My Instagram is alex.activism. Drop me messages on there. I'm happy to, there's a lot of comments that I haven't addressed and got to on this live stream. So if there's anything I've missed, please do drop me a question. And yeah, thanks David, thanks Aaron, thanks Matthew, thanks Alicia, thanks Mel and Steve. Thanks for everyone for being on this live chat and supporting the stream. It really massively helps, especially when it's hard to monitor all of the chats. So yeah, I've got to get out of this place now. It's just absolutely disgusting. I'll leave you with a lasting image of these dead animal corpses and a final message to say to be vegan for them. Be vegan for them. These are individuals that want to live just like us. Be vegan for them.